Hi, my name's Elizabeth Stolga, and I'm the Covenants Manager for Brambleton Community Association, and welcome back to Keeping Brambleton Beautiful. In this segment, we invite local experts to come and share their knowledge and information about subjects that I think are pertinent to Brambleton residents. Today, we have our expert and friend, Rachel Rinker, here with us from AAA Trash and Recycling to discuss and to answer some of the most common concerns and questions that are received by my office and her office from Brambleton residents. Welcome, Rachel. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for coming. Okay, before we get started, I introduced you as a AAA representative, but behind us we have a Republic truck. So can you explain to me, do you work for AAA or Republic? What is the proper way of introducing you?
Absolutely. So AAA Recycling and Trash Removal is a division of Republic Services. So AAA was purchased by Republic Services back in 1998. We've stayed the same company and are now working on the rebranding of the company, which is why you're seeing brand new Republic Services trucks, brand new Republic Services equipment, and so forth.
So going forward, we'll just be seeing the Republic trucks. We won't be seeing eventually the AAA trucks will phase out.
Correct. So eventually they will phase out, but it is going to be a process. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars that are put into those trucks.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, great. Thank you for clearing that up. So I'm so glad to have you here. One of the things that we get calls about all the time is I've just moved into Brambleton, and I'm a new resident, and I need to get my trash toters. How do I go about that?
So easy. So all the homeowners need to do is contact the Republic Services customer service. They'll call the 703-818-8222 number, and all they need to do is let them know that they're a homeowner in Brambleton's community and their home address, and we'll go ahead and get those containers delivered.
Wonderful. And what size containers can I get? Do I get a choice, or does just the same standard ones come to all residents?
Brambleton is really lucky. They actually have a huge array of choices, which you'll see lined up behind me.
Of course we do. We're special.
So these are the big 96-gallon containers, right? These are available in both trash and recycling. And what you're looking at right here is actually the trash container. A lot of people get confused because it's a solid blue, but this is actually the trash. You also have a 65-gallon, which is both trash and recycling available. You are looking at the trash container, but this is also available in the recycling container.
And what would it look like if it was a recycling bin?
Great question. So here you see a 35-gallon container. The 35-gallon is only available in recycling, and you will have this green lid and say recyclables only right on the lid of the container.
Great.
There's also a very small option, the bin option, which is 22 gallons. But obviously with having the array of carts available, having it containerized with a lid, we always recommend trying to go on the larger size.
Yes, I think the HOA would prefer having a lid on it as well. That stops in those windy situations from trash and recycling blowing all over the place. Okay, so just to recap, so they can get this in recycling and or trash.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
This in recycling and or trash.
Correct.
And this smaller one can only come in recycling.
Exactly.
And it will be in a green lid. Okay, wonderful. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what do I do if I damage one?
All you got to do is call into customer service again. We replace completely free for wear and tear of containers.
So you replace for free? Oh, good. So it doesn't cost our homeowners anything to have it replaced?
As long as it's for normal wear and tear of the container. So if it breaks, if it's damaged, we'll go ahead and get it replaced. Again, all we need is the community association name. Let us know that you're from Brambleton and the home address, and we'll go ahead and get that replaced for you.
That's wonderful. Okay. Now, can you explain to me, we get a lot of these questions too, what is proper trash that we can put out on the curb or in our bins?
Absolutely. So we are a trash company, which is your municipal solid waste. Typically, municipal solid waste is trash that stems from your kitchen and or bathroom, of course not flushed down the toilet.
Okay.
You also have recyclables. So your recyclables are your plastics, number 1 through number 7, which includes all of your yogurt containers, your milk jugs, even laundry detergent containers that can go in there.
Okay.
Your glass bottles, your aluminum cans, cardboard, newspapers, junk mail, all of those paper products that you get in that mailbox that you don't want, please put it in the recycling container, not in the trash.
Oh, okay. So even the cardboard and paper products. Okay,
absolutely.
Excellent.
And it does not need to be separated, which is the other best part.
That was a hassle in the old days. We all believed we needed to separate it. So we don't need to separate it. It can all go in the same bin.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. That's good news. And in Brambleton, what are the recycling and pickup days?
It is, your recycling is on Fridays, and your trash is Tuesday and Friday.
Okay. So super. And when should we put the trash out?
In Brambleton,
Yeah.
we always recommend having your trash out by 7 a.m. This is when we begin our route in Brambleton for the trash service and recycling service.
Okay.
We will continue that service throughout the day. And of course, if you haven't seen us by 5 p.m., feel free to give us a call to our customer service line. But of course, be observant to what you see on the street. If you've noticed your entire street has not been serviced yet, we probably have not been to your area yet.
Okay. And I call the customer service number if I haven't seen you by 5.
Exactly.
Excellent. Okay, so in Brambleton, our governing documents also require that you don't put it out prior to 6 p.m. the night before, and that you store it out of view when trash has been picked up. So if by 5 p.m. they've called you, they're coming back, you can leave it out, but then it needs to be stored out of view when not on collection days or after the collection has taken place, as soon as you come home. Okay, so now we know what time to put it out, and what if I have like an appliance or something that I want to throw out?
Well, appliances will go separately. We will remove them at an additional charge to the homeowners. So all they need to do is contact the customer service line, put in for what type of appliance that's going to be removed. Now, any refrigerant appliances like your freezers, refrigerators, even air conditioning units will need to have the Freon removed prior to us removing.
Okay.
And you can call like a local HVAC company to go ahead and get them to remove that for you.
Okay, great. And will they pick it up on a regular pickup day, or will I have to call for a special delivery, a special pickup?
Unlike the bulk materials that we'll pick up on a regular delivery, the appliances have to go on a special pickup. It cannot be removed with the regular trash.
And what else constitutes bulk? Like, when do I need to call for a special pickup? How big would it have to be?
So any bulk materials should always be pre-scheduled and called in.
Okay.
But the bulk constitutes that's included in Brambleton's community is 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot, or less than 50 pounds. Just think of that. We have a gentleman that's picking it up and throwing it into the truck. So as long as it stays within those measurements, we will remove it. Some of those items are things like mattresses, box springs, small love seats, even some couches, as long as the weight is not overly huge. If it's a 150-pound couch, then it's going to need to be removed separately.
So if it's something I can't move, then chances are
it's probably something
that I need to call about. Okay, great. But I can schedule those pickups and they'll come out and take care of it. And I call the customer service number for that as well?
You call the customer service number for that as well. And the other big item that we provide as a service for you is the yard work. So yard debris is mandated by Loudoun County from March 1st through December 24th. So we have to provide an additional service day for the yard work, which is on Tuesdays. All of the grass clippings, leaves, brush, twigs, they can be put out curbside. Now the bags or the grass clippings and the leaves should be bagged, and we prefer to have them in clear or biodegradable bags.
Okay.
But if black bags are used, it is important that homeowners mark those bags with an X to signify that it is yard work that's being placed at the curb. Brush and twigs, like branches, should be cut to no longer than 4 foot lengths, no wider than 6-inch diameters, and bundled in armful amounts to be placed at the curb to be removed.
And what if I have like my own container that I want to use to put the yard waste in? Can I do that?
Absolutely. You can use your own container. All we ask is that it's properly marked yard debris so that we know that it's yard work in that container.
Oh, and so that's what those bumper sticker-like stickers are in my office.
Correct.
That say yard waste. If I tape one of those on there, we can use our own container?
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent, because that would probably keep them nice and contained. So Rachel, what if I'm moving and I have a lot of stuff that I want to put out at the curb? Should I put it all out at the curb and hope for the best, or should I call ahead? What's the proper way for me to get that taken care of?
I definitely don't recommend to put it out on the curb and not call ahead.
Okay.
Please call ahead. Let us know what kind of items that you have. Depending on the amount, we have pickups that range anywhere from a roll-off container that we can put out so that you can get rid of it.
Okay.
Or, of course, we can maybe do it across a couple weeks span. Because, again, your bulk materials are your 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. Think of a truck bed. If you're filling up that truck bed and you still have more, then we're way over the bulk materials. So we would be able to provide you a quote for those materials and get them removed.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so what happens if there's like if there's a problem with scheduling, like snow days? I remember we got a lot of calls in our office. Is trash going to be picked up on time and on the right day? what is our process for alerting Brambleton residents?
Absolutely. We try to keep our regular schedule as much as possible, but of course, there's always circumstances like weather that could impact that. I am in constant communication with Brambleton Management's office to make sure that you guys are properly notified anytime that those situations occur.
I know you are. And the way that we get that out to the homeowner, in case any homeowner has a question as to how they'll receive that information, we send out email blasts, we put it in our Friday Flash, we put it up on the website. You can log on to the website and click on Notify Me, and you will be able to be notified either via email or be notified on your phone. However you choose to be notified of those alerts. You can be notified of all kinds of different alerts, but you can be notified about a trash alert if there's a change in the schedule that you send over to us. So that's how we'd get it out to them.
That's great.
Okay, Rachel, we've talked a lot about what we can put out and when we need to call ahead. What are some of the items that we can't put out in the trash?
Okay, so some of the most common items that you can't put out is things like motor oil, paint, soil, sod, dirt. You can't bricks, concrete, and of course some of the most dangerous items like medical waste, putting needles just directly inside your container, or even pet waste, which in de minimis quantities we will remove, but if you have large quantities of pet waste, it needs to be not placed with the regular trash.
I get a lot of concerns in my office when I send a letter out that says you can't store your trash cans outside when not on pickup day. And residents will tell me, well, I can't store it in my garage because I put my pet waste in there and it smells. Is there any way that a homeowner can kind of take care of the smell in their trash can?
Sprinkle some baby powder in there. It'll definitely help.
Baby powder. Oh, I would have never thought of that. That's excellent. So just sprinkle some baby powder on there and it'll smell fresh as a daisy.
It'll get a little bit better, absolutely.
There we go. And then they can store it in their garage. That's excellent news.
Yep.
Okay, and what's the proper way to dispose of medical waste? I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah, that's got to be a real safety issue.
Absolutely. So they need to have, Sharps offers a program where they can have the containers right at their house. And again, with medical waste, it is in de minimis quantities, and if properly contained, we will remove it. So if somebody has, diabetes and they're using the diabetic needle and they put the cap back on and put it in a coffee can, those small quantities can be put in the trash, but in large scale, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to the environment, it's dangerous to our employees, and ultimately, it's against Loudoun County ordinance to place those items in the container.
Okay, so storing it in a container, a metal container such as a coffee can, is probably the best way in small quantities.
In
correct?
Small quantities.
Okay, great. So no more motor oil, huh?
No motor oil.
What if the
Absolutely
motor oil
not.
is out? Mostly out, but there's just residue left. Is that okay?
The motor oil needs to be emptied. So
Completely empty.
Completely empty. No
Okay.
motor oil. Our trucks are not built to handle anything like the liquids. It's a solid waste truck. It's not a liquid waste truck. So they are not built to handle the capacity of things like paint. That's why you'll see when oil or paint goes into those trucks, it'll be streaked all the way down the street behind it.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that with paint. Oh, it's awful. What a nightmare to get that up.
Correct.
And I think I heard you say something about dirt. Well, isn't that part of the yard waste? Why can't I put dirt out?
Absolutely. Dirt is definitely not part of yard debris. Dirt, for one, it's not going to go in and get compacted very nicely. It's going to go everywhere. And also, it's very heavy. It's not something that our guys can easily pick up and throw in the truck. Again, you have one man that's picking up those bags. You need to keep it less than that 50-pound amount.
Okay, well, that's great. That is such excellent information. Okay, so now I know what I can bring out, and I know what sizes I can get. I'd like to introduce Juan Arauco to Brambleton residents. He is a lead driver for AAA, one of our fabulous drivers, and he's manning this beautiful truck that you see behind us. And Juan, I'd like to talk about, I'd like you to tell me how, as a resident, I can make it easier for your job, for you to do your job, and easier and safer for you to do your job when you come to pick up our trash. Why don't we use one of these cans that we have here?
Sure.
If you'll hold this, I'll move the can.
It's almost as big as you.
This is what I need for my family. I need the nice big trash can. Okay, so what is the proper way to put this out at the curb?
Well, first, thank you for having me, Elizabeth. The proper way to put this out on the curb would be with the tires facing your house. That would be the easiest way to describe it. That way, when the truck comes and services it with the arm, all the trash gets dumped out like that. Now, if you were to put the can with the tires facing the street, when we service the truck and we put the can back, there's a possibility of trash getting stuck here and you get left with some trash or possibly on the floor. So the best placement would be with the tires towards your house and away from your mailbox or anything that could potentially be damaged.
That's fabulous, because I always thought it was the handle facing out. I got to tell you, I'm sorry about that. I always thought it was the other way around.
It's okay.
So I'm glad to get that straightened out. Okay, what if I have too much stuff to put in my can? Can I put bags next to it?
Absolutely not. According to Brambleton coordinates, we're not allowed to service anything outside of the can, only what fits inside. If you have a personal can and you decide to use it, just be advised that wear and tear will happen and we're not responsible for any damage to the can.
Should I mark the can?
Absolutely. If it's for yard debris, please mark it for yard debris. If it's for trash, and recycle.
Great. Okay, and so where do I place it? In the middle of the driveway, or should I place it on the sidewalk, or?
Well, you want to place it right on the curb, kind of like that.
Okay.
That way, and again, away from the mailbox or anything that could be damaged. That way it could be serviced quickly.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I see this beautiful fancy truck. One of the concerns that I get from homeowners is they'll call and they'll say, well, my side of the street got picked up, but the other side of the street hasn't, or the other side of the street got picked up and my side hasn't. Why would that be the case? Why would that happen?
Well, as you can see, there's an arm on the side of the truck, on the right side of the truck. So this is an automated side loader, which means we only load it from one side. And what we do is we go down the street, we service one side. We have to go around the neighborhood and we can only make right turns. If you do see us make a left turn, it's because we have to get out and get on the other side to make a left turn. But we will come back through the street that needs to be serviced.
So I just need to be patient if I see that happen, because you're making right turns and coming back around and looping back around to get me.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. That's great. Okay, and so there's got to be a lot of safety issues for these side loading machines with these arms. Can you tell me how I can, what some of the common safety concerns are with these side loaders?
Sure. Our main concerns are sometimes we're very popular when we go into a neighborhood, and especially with the kids, they see us and they get excited and they see the arm come out, and we're happy about that, but we're also concerned about their safety and to keep a safe distance away. Just make sure that they're not running around or anywhere near the truck while we're servicing it, because you never know what could happen while we're servicing the can. Something could fly out because it's hydraulic and everything gets destroyed and pushed into the back of the truck.
So if my kids were to leave their bikes or their toys next to the trash can, that arm is strong enough to pick those bikes up with it, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes, it is, and it will be destroyed.
So don't leave your bikes don't leave your bikes leaning up against the trash can. Well, that's good advice. So I take it people shouldn't stand very close to the cans either when you're servicing them.
No, well, we would like you to stand at least 10 to 15 feet back. That way we could all be safe. We could do our job and put the toter back exactly where we picked it up from.
That's good advice, because I bet you could probably pick a person up with that toter and that would be bad news. So, okay, great. So we've talked a little bit about safety and the way that you service the street. What do we put in the recycling bin, and do we have to recycle? Is that something we have to do?
Absolutely. So Loudoun County Ordinance actually states that you have to recycle. And we make it as simple as possible. It's all single stream. So again, your cardboards, your paper, your glass, your plastics, your aluminums, all of that, one container, that's it. It's 80% of your household. To even make it a little more incentivized for Brambleton homeowners, we offer a recycling rewards program to every homeowner in the community. All this does is it takes the community tonnage, the route tonnage off of Brambleton, and it divides it out among all Recycle Bank members as points. These points can be cashed in for an array of rewards, such as things to Home Depot, coupons to Safeway, to Harris Teeter's, to local restaurants, and there's a huge array that you can find right at the Recycle Bank website.
Oh, that's fabulous. Now, how do I sign up for that?
All you need to do is go to recyclebank.com.
Wonderful. And so, how do I get my points?
They're going to be automatically put into your account each week as we service.
Oh, that's fabulous. And do I need to log in after I've recycled or do anything like that? Do I have to tell you that I've recycled? How do you know?
Well, you do not need to tell us that you recycled because it's already going to be, you're already part of it. So as soon as you log in, Recycle Bank knows that you're a Brambleton resident. You're
Okay.
a Brambleton homeowner that's eligible to get those points. But if you do log in weekly, which you have the option to,
Okay.
you will receive an additional 10 points each week just for clicking I recycled.
Oh, that's fabulous. And then I get coupons for all kinds of things.
All kinds of things.
That's a good deal.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's incentive to recycle.
Absolutely.
And I don't need to separate it, so I can recycle it. I can put everything, the paper, the plastic, the glass, the
Yep.
cans, all in one bin. Well, that makes
All
it a
in
lot
one
easier.
bin.
Well, I'm enlightened. I have learned a lot about trash collection, and I think you have answered so many of the common questions that are received, at least by my office, I know, and I'm sure you receive these same concerns and questions in your office. So I'm sure that this has helped to educate Brambleton residents on what trash collection and recycling is all about in Brambleton. I'd like to say thank you very much to Ron Arauco and to Rachel Rinker from AAA for joining us today. And this was a segment of Keeping Brambleton Beautiful, and I hope to see you next time.